My fellow Amazonians, there are difficult days in this revolution, but days when our kids are massacred in cold blood are the most difficult. No people, no nation on earth can keep losing their future in massacres over and over and over again. I just dropped out of an emergency meeting of the War Council as we deliberated on the massacre carried out by La République du Cameroon at Mother Francis International Bilingual School in Kumba. It was a very tense meeting. It was a very emotional meeting. And I dropped out in order to give a little briefing to our people. I wish from the bottom of my heart that I was coming here to tell you that this was a surprise. You know, going into our commemoration, our observance of our Independence Day in October 1, we had clear intelligence report that came to my desk, very clear reports that indicated that the overriding security and political concern in La République du Cameroon was the fact that there cannot be any repeat, of the 1st October celebration that happened in 2019. For months, they prepared, both at their political and military level. And we were receiving those intelligence reports. And for months, getting to 1st October, the War Council had also been deliberating full time on countermeasures to make sure that we defeat what they had put down as a red line, that there will be no celebration and humiliation of La République du Cameroon in Ambazonia. Let me, from the bottom of my heart, thank the members of the organizing committee that the AGOVC put on, the members of the War Council who worked diligently and absolutely blew out of the park La République du Cameroon's objective. We met our objective. We demonstrated a control of our land. We demonstrated the spirit of a people that could not be subdued, a people shouting and clamoring for freedom. From the old and the infirm to the young and the children. singing, shouting, marching, dancing, demonstrating to the world a will of an unbowed people, the pride of a nation, and the determination to free ourselves from the nightmare that is La République du Cameroon. We knew there was going to be a reaction, and we had been consolidating, prepping, deliberating, planning, looking at where La République will show its reaction, where they will strike out in rage, in blind rage. They did that today. At the most vulnerable of our people. They responded to our 1st October celebration. When they saw from north to south our kids in community schools come out and march, when they attempted to attack and were pushed back at Ojim, at Malende, when they attacked in Kumba, when they attacked in Ambo, the waging of war against innocence is crime against humanity. La République du Cameroon has been carrying out a war of genocide in our land. We have defeated them in their inability to corral our defense forces, in their inability to make inroads, in their inability to create fear in our people that they don't come out and celebrate and march on their Independence Day and demonstrate to the world that after 4 years of active war against humanity, of genocide, they are unbowed. Their inability to instill that fear in our people has led to massacre after massacre after massacre in our land as they target our most vulnerable. In Pinyin, in Gabu, in Menka, in Bali, tens, 20, 30, 40, more than 50 of our citizens in each cases murdered, massacred in cold blood. In Munyenge, in San Pete Boya, in Ekona, Bafut, Babanki. La République du Cameroon has in cold blood massacred hundreds of our people in broad daylight. And the international community has not held them accountable. Remember, the Amazonian Governing Council calling on the international community, on the United Nations to invoke the responsibility to protect. If you can't do that, when massacre after massacres in broad daylight of women and children, even women carrying children in their backs, on their backs, shooting at them in cold blood, killing children, execution style, infants, like they did in Moyoka, sitting in a couch. If the international community cannot invoke the responsibility to protect in such cases, what is their use? So in the meeting of the Defense Council today, while condemning La République du Cameroun and its action in targeting innocent civilians in our land, the War Council hold the international community culpable in refusing to hold La République du Cameroun accountable for the crimes against humanity they are committing in our land. The War Council also promised the Amazonian people and informed the international community that come what may, every soldier of La République du Cameroun involved in this massacre and the other massacre, no matter how long it takes, we will know your individual name and we will mete out justice individually to you personally. You are not going to hide behind the flag of La République du Cameroun. You will not hide behind the butt of Paul Biya. He has his crimes to face. The Chirumas, the Ataganji Pauls, the Ngala Gerards, they have their crimes to pay and they will pay. But any soldier, every soldier of La République du Cameroun, it doesn't matter whether you wear their uniforms or whether you are an irregular or a security, plainclothes security forces, it doesn't matter. Every one of you that has gone out and massacre our people, we will come after you individually. No matter where you live, we will exact. It is unfortunate to use this word. It is going to be revenge. And we will do it. Years after the killings of Jews in Europe, the Israelites were meting out justice and they haven't stopped. So let La République du Cameroun, every single one of their soldiers, regular and irregular soldiers, hear us very clearly. No matter how long it takes, no matter how many billion of dollars, if we don't do it now, no matter how many billion of dollars our security forces will request from the state of Ambazonia to go after you, we will do it. The War Council, in its deliberation today, also asked me to reassure the Amazonian people on the fact that we will win. We are winning. and we will defeat La République du Cameroon, not at a negotiating table. We will push them out of our land by force. We have won the war. We have won. They are unable to face our security forces. That is why they go after the most vulnerable of our land. For more than 4 years in this struggle, our defense forces have done everything in their power to protect the innocents, the women and the children. We are not a monolithic nation. We are a nation with open borders. There are tens of thousands of foreigners, even citizens of La République du Cameroon, living in our land in a state of war. And a lot of them have acted as informants and avant-gardes for La République du Cameroon. Not one of these citizens have been massacred. Not one. Every day, the Amazonian people get up with tens and hundreds of their citizens massacred in cold blood. We are tired. We are tired of the silence of the international community. We are tired of holding the emotion of the Amazonian people and asking them to treat one another as neighbors. We are tired of quelling down, of holding our villagers, our villages, grieving parents, their anger. We will do all in our power to make sure that we don't descend to be the type of beast that is going after our children and our women. It is difficult. The Amazonian Defense Forces, our defense forces cannot promise to be able to hold that line. So I am asking for the citizens of La République du Cameroon to make sure that you are taking care of yourself. I will advise you to be in your own land. We are doing all in our power to make sure that our neighborhoods are safe. But the continuous massacre of innocent children and women and boys going after their business, like what happened at Malende, where those digging sand from the river, eking out a living, were massacred and their bodies thrown into the river. More than 30 civilians killed at Malende a few weeks ago. And now their children. We are incapable of holding back the anger of our people. It will be prudent, as the international community has decided to fold its arm and allow this genocide to go on. We cannot be at every place, at every moment. Look at what happened at Malende. Look at what happened today at Saint Francis, at Mother Francis. We cannot be everywhere at every moment. So it will be prudent for citizens of La République du Cameroon to seek shelter in their own land. My fellow Amberlanders, the death of General Ivo was a huge loss, not only for our people, but for humanity. His hold over Meme and Fako was such that there was no way La République du Cameroon could have done the type of massacre that they did this morning. I want to, from the bottom of my heart, beg for your indulgence, because we weren't able to protect you. On the eve of 1st October, a child of General Ivo, Boss Daff, trained by him, worked with him, and who had been working in order to make sure that our people in Meme at least have a modicum of security as we rebuild the fabric of our defense in that state. This brave soldier of Ambazonia died in battle. His death and the vacuum that he left, I have no reason, none at all, as I sit right now to reflect on the fact that had he been alive today, if he had not died a couple of weeks ago, had he been alive today, maybe, just maybe, what happened at Mother Francis would not have happened. I want to pay homage to this brave soldier of Ambazonia and reflect on the Gospel of John 15. Greater love hath no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends. Bozraf, you rest in peace. Fatao Dankano, another brave soldier of Ambazonia, who lost his life at the hands of irregular forces of La République du Cameroun in Donga Manton. Fatao, we honor you, we honor your service, and those who attack you have joined you. Some of them have joined you today as you make your journey to your celestial home. Your defense forces are doing everything that they can to make sure that we bring this war to an end as fast as possible. We can promise you that even as we celebrated 1st October, your forces today are a lot stronger than they were on 1st October. Today, just over 3 weeks ago. We are ready in a few short weeks to be able to graduate a batch of the Ambazonian Special Forces from the Ambazonian Military School. It will help in further pushing the perimeter of the free state of Ambazonia that at this moment, on this map, I can draw where La Republique doesn't exist. That perimeter is being pushed further and further. And it will reach a critical stage soon where the leader of the revolution will be able to announce to the world that Ambazonia is open for business. You might hear talk of a stabilization fund. It is geared towards that. My fellow Ambalanders, I plead that you heed the call for that stabilization fund. We need to push the perimeter. We need to push the blanket of security over further and further in our land so that these massacres stop, so that La République du Cameroon can leave our people and cross over the Mongol into their land. As you can see, I have called here, this is not the first. Menka, Bali, they burned, killed, and burned our citizens. And Gabu, and Munyenge, in Malende, Pinyin, we can go on and on in Babsumo Bambanki. My fellow Ambalanders, the only ones who can end this is us. There is no white knight riding into to save us. We have to save ourselves. That is why I am asking for you to redouble your effort. If you have already done it, look for a friend, look for a citizen or even a non-citizen. This is a project to end crimes against humanity, to end genocide. So it should not rest only on our people. If you have friends, even different, bring them on board. The children that are being killed is our humanity. For humans to stand aside and see and don't act is a crime. Let us end this. Let us do everything in our power to meet the 500,000 stabilization fund. I promise you, we will end this nightmare that is La République in our land. I promise you that. In the meantime, I just want to indicate that with all the massacres that have occurred in the past few weeks in our Atlantic states, from Malende and now in Kumba, and this is the third event since October 1 that has happened in Kumba. In one, we lost our commander there, Buzdaf. My office will be taking direct control of the Atlantic states. There is a lot of work that we need to do there. A lot of work has been done. Close to 40,000 within the past few months, the past few weeks, have gone into FACO alone. We are slowly reaching the tipping point, and I cannot thank enough the deputy chair of the Ambazonian Defense Forces for the Atlantic States, Comrade Tapang Ivo, who is stepping down and concentrating on the Rebel TV project. You know, I have, in my 30 years in this struggle, worked with a lot of Ambazonians. The call to duty that Comrade Tapang Ivo took was something that, in the annals of the history of our struggle, not the ADF, not the AGOFC, in the annals of the history of our struggle, a chapter will go on him. That at a time when anti-revolutionaries had almost made the Ambazonian Defense Forces the only thing standing between La République du Cameroun and the sellouts who had handed our nation, our defense to them. The only thing standing between La République du Cameroun and the ADF and the leader of this revolution, Dr. Cho Ayaba, was one Mr. Tapang Ivo Tanko, who decided to step forth and step online and meet face to face the intoxication that was being fed by the counter-revolutionary internal forces of France and La République du Cameroun, using Ambazonians to tarnish General Ivo. They almost turned him to be an Antanganji boy and almost turned the leader of the revolution to be an Antanganji boy, and did enormous damage to the Ambazonian Defense Forces, making it possible for Ambazonians to take their guns and attempt to shoot our forces on their back as they face La République du Cameroun. I cannot say more about the services that Mr. Tapang Ivo provided for our forces. And as he marched on with his Rebel TV, he marched on with a grateful thanks of a defense chairman for the people of Ambazonia. As things change, as means of communication, as our people focused on providing our forces on the ground with the materials to battle La République du Cameroun and not communication tools to intoxicate our people, Tapang stepped forth and went online day in, day out to battle this misinformation and messages. Since we are now transitioning to be able to speak directly to our people, to go far and wide, we are also transitioning the role of the spokesman of the ADF, which now no longer is needed, as being online day in, day out to battle these people. My office, I will now take on that role and speak when necessary on decisions made by the council on important issues. Concerning the Atlantic coordination that I'm taking under me, in the next few months, I will be naming the deputy defense chair for the Atlantic region. In the meantime, I have convened the coordinators for Fako, Meme, Manu, Kupe, Maninguba, Lebialem into a working group that will be headed by our barefoot soldier. They will make recommendation because the massacres that are going on are untenable. We have to finish the work that our departing DDCA has done. That work needs to be finished. My fellow countrymen, this is a tough day for every Ambazonian. We knew La Republique was going to react to our celebration on 1st October. We should have guessed that they would choose the most painful and most vulnerable in our land to send their message. The Ambazonian Defense Forces will keep sending them messages, as was done yesterday at Bengwe Park, where more than a dozen of them met our Bamenda battalion. They will meet our defense forces as they did in Donga when they killed our commander. They will meet our defense forces as they did at Ogim. We are battling them. They are running. They don't stand to fight. They go into our villages and take their revenge. They go into our schools and take their revenge. Let me assure you, with the graduation that is coming, we start putting on the front foot a force that is going to roll up, that once it starts, it will not stop until it reaches our border. And if need be, they will cross over on the other side, and we will go after every single member of their forces who was involved. And when I say their forces, their DOs, their mayors, their political and military leadership is one. So I promise you, we are doing that, and we will do that. God bless you. God bless our forces on the field. God bless Ambazonia.
Hail this land of glory. We the Ambazonian, special loyalty. Praises to our Savior who granted us the freedom. And legends to the hero who God alone we gather. Glory to glory, we rise and never to fall. Here in a nation, flowing rivers and holy. Glory, glory, glory to the Father for making you a nation, a joy forevermore. Ambazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty, meet in our need. And your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God being the watchman of this nation. Ambazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty, meet in our need. his stars above. The Most High God being the watchman of his name.